Welcome to Vacation Bible School 2020. I have to tell you that I'm really bummed that you can't be here with me at church because I love being able to tell you stories, to bring you back to the times when when the stories of the Bible were being lived out, when people were living those things and those stories were being created out of their lives. So, I'm so glad that you're here with us. And I want you to think just a little bit, like some of you recognize me and you're saying, oh, that's Jessica, the storyteller from VBS. And some of you are probably seeing me for the first time. So I want you to think a little bit about how you get to know new people. Sometimes you can have a conversation with somebody new and you can talk about something that's easy for you. For example, maybe you are a super good basketball player and you shoot the hoops and you are making the points and that is something you are so fantastic at. Maybe you're a really good roller skater and maybe that goes really well for you. You never fall down, you can skate forwards, you can skate backwards, and that goes well for you. I'm going to tell you something that I'm pretty good at. Put me in the kitchen, give me some groceries, and I can cook. I can make amazing pastas, I can make delicious salads, mouth-watering steak, and some of the most tasty burgers you will ever eat. But then there's those things that we're not always so good at. Like, sometimes we're just not good at things. Think about something that you're not very good at. Sometimes we come into times in our life when something's really hard and we say, I don't want to do it, that looks too hard. Or we say, I just can't. I've tried that before and I'm never trying that again. That's how it goes sometimes. But here's one thing I know. Sometimes hard things come our way. And I gotta tell you that Jesus has power. Jesus' power helps us to do hard things. I'm gonna ask you to say this with me. Trust Jesus. Trust Jesus. So when we run into complicated times in life, it's really super important that we remember Jesus' power helps us do hard things. So I can trust Jesus. So I can remember when I had something hard to do. It was when I was...
Sorry.
Ananias, what are you doing?
Sorry, I'm hiding.
Hiding from who?
Everyone.
Well, that's not going to work. Stand up and tell me what is going on. I don't get this. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, by the way, this is my friend Ananias. Ananias? My friends are at home watching us right now.
What? Hi, friends at home watching us.
Why exactly are you hiding?
It's Saul. He's here in Damascus, and he's here to arrest anyone and everyone who loves Jesus. And I love Jesus.
Oh, I guess you haven't heard.
He's thrown a lot of Jesus' friends into prison, and he's here in Damascus. I know this.
So, I guess you haven't heard.
About how Jesus appeared to Saul, and how a bright light shone around him, and how Saul himself heard Jesus' voice? Trust me, I heard that. And I also heard when Saul fell to the ground, and then he was blind? What? And then all his buddies let him here to Damascus.
So, why are you hiding? And why are you wearing that ridiculous mustache?
It's a disguise.
Well, it's not working.
Oh, yeah, not anymore. Well, God came to me in a vision last night, and he said that I need to go to Straight Street and see a man named Saul.
Wow.
And then I should place my hands on Saul and pray for him so that Saul will be able to see again and he's not blind anymore.
So why are you here instead of doing what God asked you to do?
Because once Saul is able to see, guess what he'll see? Me, a Christian. I'm a Christian, just like the Christians he's been throwing these terrible big rocks at, and the same Christians he has chained up outside, and I don't even know what he does with this thing. I don't want to know what he does with this thing. Why is God asking me to do such a hard thing?
Well, I don't know, but maybe my friends watching will know something about that, because they know that Jesus' power helps us do hard things. Say it at home. Trust Jesus. So really, maybe God's asking you because he knows about Jesus' power is going to help you to do hard things. Trust Jesus.
Okay, but this is a really hard thing. A super, super hard thing to do. Have you ever had something that was hard to do and you still had to do it?
Yeah, we were just starting to talk about that. I was just going to tell my friends a story about something that was really hard for me to do. So, here's something kind of interesting. It's really easy to talk about trusting, but sometimes it's harder to trust than to talk about it. Ed and I still think that we could practice something called the trust fall.
Let's give it a shot.
I'd like to see how it feels to trust you, just like you're wanting to trust Jesus with this hard work that God asked you to do, and like we want people at home to trust Jesus. Okay, I'm going to stand stiff as a board, and I'm not going to look at you, and I am just going to tip my body backwards, and Ananias is going to catch me because I trust him. This is called a trust fall. We're going to give it a try. All right, not looking, I'm just going to go. All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh! It worked!
We did it!
Oh my gosh! Woo! That was fantastic. Going backwards on purpose is kind of hard. And it can be scary. Is that how you're feeling about seeing Saul?
Yes, it is.
So like how I was just feeling is how you're feeling about seeing Saul.
That's exactly how I was feeling.
Oh my gosh. Well, I want the people at home watching us right now to get a partner and to try the same trust fall, just like we did. Do you think they can do it?
I think they can do it.
Oh, perfect. You can pause your video just for a minute and you can try that with somebody at home. So earlier we talked a little bit about things that are really hard for you to do. Like maybe somersaults are hard for you to do. Or maybe when I was talking about basketball being easy, you were sitting there at home going, it's not easy, it's so hard. And that's possible. And sometimes we have things in life that are challenging. So for example, when I'm not telling VBS stories, I'm a teacher. And it's been really hard for me to be teaching from inside my house. To not be with my kids and to not be able to check their work and to see their faces and to be that close to them and help them. That's really hard for me. Maybe you can think of something that's really hard in your life. Like maybe you've had to change schools. And that's really hard to go to a new school where you don't know any of the other kids and you're nervous to meet new teachers. Maybe you had to move your house and now you don't know like where the closest park is, or you maybe don't know like how to walk around the house when it's dark inside and because it's a new place. Or, I have a friend who I was emailing with and I said, what's something hard going on in your life right now? And he wrote me back and he said, I am totally stuck on a video game. And I was like, a video game for reals? And he said, yes, it's very frustrating for me. And I had to say, wow, what are you doing about that? I have another friend who wrote me and said, I guess something hard going on in my life right now is that my parents are getting divorced. And I said, oh, I bet that is hard. We all have challenging times in our lives. I want you to think about something that's really hard, something that's going on in your life. And then I want you to think about how you get through those kinds of situations. We all have those hard things. I bet you thought about 2 or 3 things. Here's the deal though. Just like I told Ananias a few moments ago, when we go through those hard things, it's really important for us to remember that Jesus' power helps us do hard things. And when we get to that point, we have to remember to trust Jesus. Say it with me, please. Trust Jesus. I bet we need to try that again. I just have this funny feeling that we should do that one more time. Remember, Jesus' power helps us to do hard things. And so when we come up with those hard things, we know that Jesus has the power to help us with those. We need to trust Jesus. I'm sure that was better this time. So, Ananias, can you come back here? I know that you're kind of like hesitant about all this, but everybody goes through hard things. Did you hear me talking about my friends who I talked to, that one, especially the one whose parents are getting a divorce? And do you understand that everybody goes through hard things sometimes?
Yeah.
Good. Well, so now you know what God has asked you to do. And I know that you know what's up. And I know that you know this, that Jesus' power helps us do hard things. And I want you to trust Jesus.
I do. I trust Jesus.
So are you ready for this? Do you think you can do it?
I don't know.
Well, would you feel better, Ananias, if I prayed for you about this?
That'll help me a lot.
Okay. Hold your hands and bow your head. Dear Jesus, I pray to you today that you help Ananias as he goes to Saul and works through this challenging situation. I pray that you give Ananias the courage to follow through and do exactly what God has asked him to do. And I pray that you help my friends at home who are watching us know that Jesus has the power to help us through hard things. And I pray that you will help them to trust Jesus, trust you at all times. Amen.
Amen.
All right, man. You got this. I prayed for you. You're ready to go. Let's high five it.
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm ready.
See you later, man.
Thank you.
I hope we get to find out how everything goes for Ananias. And I hope that you remember that just like I prayed for Ananias, if you have a friend who's going through something hard, you can pray for them. Or if you are having a hard experience yourself, I hope you know that you can also pray for yourself. It's really important that we always remember that Jesus' power helps us do hard things and that we can always trust Jesus. Say it with me, trust Jesus. Thanks so much for listening to the stories that I have for you today. I'll have another one for you in a couple days. Have a great day. Bye.